Hello everybody, this is William, and today we're going to learn how to sound design a warm synth pad using only Ableton's native synthesizer and effects. Here's what we'll be working on. Alright, so let's start by loading analog. First, let's set the first oscillator to be a saw and the filter to be a low-pass 24 dB filter, and we'll set the frequency cutoff at 350 Hz. Next, we're going to turn off the filter envelope, so just set it to 0, and we're going to set the key follow to 1, and we'll turn off the drive unit. Next, let's set the volume envelope. So let's set the attack 3 seconds, and decay 3.5 seconds, and sustain as 1, and release time as 4 seconds. And of course, let's set the level for amp 1 to 0, and let's hear what it sounds like. Sounds good. And now we're going to set the second oscillator. So let's turn off oscillator number 1 for now, and let's go here and change the filter 2. And let's set filter 2. So we'll do the same thing, only here the filter cutoff is going to be 4.5 Hz, 450 Hz. And the envelope is going to be 0, so we're going to turn it off. And the key follow is going to be 1. And we'll also turn off the drive unit. Let's set the volume envelope for oscillator number 2, which is going to be very similar. So attack is 3 seconds, decay is 3.8 seconds, and sustain 0.90, and release time of 4.5 seconds this time. And let's set the level to 0. Let's hear what this sounds like. Seems like I forgot to set the low pass filter to 24 dB. Alright. Now it is 24 dB. Let's hear both oscillators together. Sounds good. Now, to make things more exciting, we're going to add vibrato. So we'll just add 20% vibrato. Sounds good. And now let's pan oscillator number 1 by 10 to the right, and oscillator number 2 by 10 to the left. And let's play around with the detune settings. For oscillator number 1, let's add 0.05. And for oscillator number 2, negative 0.05. So let us quickly EQ this pad. Let's add EQ8. First, we're going to set a high-pass filter at 60 Hz. Next, we'll attenuate at 2000 Hz by minus 4 dB. Next, we will boost this time by 4 dB at 5000 Hz. Finally, let's boost again at around 500 to add more warmth to the sound. And we'll boost by 5 dB. Now, to make the sound bigger, let's add a chorus effect. We'll set the high-pass filter at 400 Hz. That way, the wet signal doesn't sound too muddy. And we'll set the time for the first delay to be 2.5 milliseconds. And for delay number 2, 3.5 millisecond. And we'll set the amount to 1. We'll leave the rate as it is, and we'll leave the dry signal at 50%. So for reverb, we're just going to use Ableton's native reverb unit and set it to high, and increase the decay time to about 7 seconds. And the delay we'll just leave the same setting as it is. And we'll just add a little bit of delay. And this is the final sound. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and that it inspired you to create your own unique synth pad sounds. I've used only Ableton's native effects so that everybody could follow this tutorial. If enough people request, I will make another more in-depth video on how to create really epic and blissful and warm sounding pads using Omnisphere and certain reverb and delay effects. Until then, have a great one, everybody.